Welcome to Say It in 4. I'm your host, Terrence Edwards. Joining me today, we have Charnetta, Chanel, Brittany, and Daniel. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey guys,
What
thank
up,
you guys
what
for
up?
tuning in. We love
All
it.
right. So, Netta, put 13 minutes on the clock. Today's topic, okay? Someone's grinding and hustling for their dream. How can they balance a relationship and the dream at the same time? Is that possible? What are the steps? Daniel, talk to us.
I mean, I think it's possible. It's communication. And I think that's the biggest thing. And two is also understanding. That person has to be willing to understand the type of grind and, job that you're going to be carrying and be comfortable with what you're going to be able to do. And so I feel like that's something you got to be upfront, honest with from the beginning, because you can't spring that on them. If you have a profession that your spouse may not be able to handle, that's something y'all need to talk about from the beginning because, in the first dating stage or whatever, because if you don't, then when it gets time to it, they're like, hey, I can't deal with this, and they exit out. You just wasted your time when you could have, had somebody that was with you that was going to help you grind and build from there.
Yeah. Netta, what's your take on that?
I mean, I think it depends. So if you were already in a relationship and you are trying to all of a sudden out the blue start this new grind, it might pose a problem. If you start giving your focus and attention to this new thing other than your partner, you might find, some clashing back and forth. But you got to have that conversation. You've got to be understanding, and you got to understand if they don't understand, and then you'll have to make the choice.
If you have a dream and you have something that you want to attack or go after, then they need to be in your corner, right?
Yeah, this is true. But I mean, you got to understand too, it depends on the type of partner that you have. If they're one of the people that like need your attention and, that's not a fully bad thing, but if they're used to being number one in your life and suddenly they're not anymore, then
that could be a problem.
Yeah.
No?
I would say prioritize and set boundaries. So if you and your partner, you guys have your schedule and maybe at 7:00 you guys are free, prioritize that time and say, you know what, at this time, this is what we're going to do. We're going to watch TV. We're going to eat together because eventually, listen, saying the 4 is already taken off, baby. Okay. We're going to be international. Okay. Everybody tuning in and watching us.
Right.
And there might be some times I might not be able to spend time with my family and stuff like that. So it's about communication. Like Daniel said,
I feel like that was a direct shot, by the way.
What you mean? Okay. What you mean?
To somebody that might be watching one of your something like that. I don't know. Subliminal message. I could be wrong. I don't know.
You trying to get me out of here? Listen, you gotta prioritize. You have to prioritize because when things start taking off in your life, 1 minute you could just be at one place, and the next minute you could take off. So it's really about communication. Like, hey, I got a new job promotion and I'm making more money and I have to invest a lot of my time into doing this, but this is what we should do. Really having a strong foundation of communication is what's going to really solidify it. Is it going to help? Maybe. But like Charnetta said, depending on the kind of person that you got, maybe somebody don't want to be dealing with that. Maybe they're so used to having attention to themselves that they can't accept somebody wanting to move forward. Like people are developing, they're growing, and you don't want to hold somebody back.
Right.
If somebody's aspired to do something.
Yeah. Britt?
Do I think it's possible? Yes. Do I suggest it? No. Because something's going to lack, right? You can only give so much time and energy to everything. And eventually, whether it be your career and your goals or your relationships, and I'm even coming from personal experience because I've been in this situation and I had to end the relationship because I realized that, hey, being in a relationship, and there was nothing wrong with that person. He was a great person, but being in a relationship takes effort. It takes time. It takes, dedication that when you on a hustle and a grind, you're constantly thinking like, oh, I could be doing this, or I need to be doing this, I need to be doing that. And it may cause resentment, right? It causes resentment on both ends. Resentment for you because you feel like, oh, if I wasn't with you, I might be further along. I might be doing this. I might be doing that. It causes resentment for him because he's like, yo, why am I here? You're not giving me no love. You're not giving me no nothing. So that's why I just feel like it's probably not the most healthiest thing to do to start a relationship or even really be in a relationship, I feel like you probably want to pick either or. That to me is because it does take effort on both ends to do both things. And if you want your relationship to grow and if you want your career to grow, you got to put time in it. And
I agree with you, Brittany. I really hate when people say, oh, it's 50-50. I feel like you can't do 50-50. I can't, like, if I'm climbing for the dream right now, the acting, the modeling, whatever you're doing out there, I cannot give that 20% and give you 80. That's just not possible. I'll never make it. Now, how long should somebody actually, wait for that person, for their dream to come true, by their side? How long should
Oh, man.
Oh,
you can't put a time on that.
Right. If you're progress. It's a matter of progressing, right? If I get to my goal, I don't feel it's hard to put a number to that, right? Oh, if I don't make it in 5 years or if I don't make it 10 years versus if I'm not further along in 3 years, if I haven't seen, if I'm an actor and I haven't at least landed a part, I haven't worked in a movie, then maybe we need to, it ain't the person, it's my dream, it's me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like you got to look at progress, not so much as you obtaining that end goal.
Yeah. But do you give up on that though? If you feel like you're not striving, do you give up on that?
I feel like, would you be able to sleep at night? Whatever you'll be able to sleep at night, right? So if you can give up on that and feel like, yo, I can be good, that I closed that chapter, it wasn't for me, it just didn't work out, I can walk away from that, then give up on it. But if you give up on that, and at the end of the day, you will always have that regret that, like, damn, I should have stuck it out. I wonder where I'd be. And don't give up on that. Because you're going to regret it for the rest of your life.
It's so important that you said that because I've interviewed artists. There was an artist, actually, Jay Nolan, and at one point in his career, he was like, I just want to give up. I don't want to be a rapper no more. He literally cried in his car, was like, I'm done. I'm over it. But the next day he woke up and had a different mindset and was like, no, I'm going to keep going. And now his songs could be heard on like Kevin Hart's, the comedy shows, like he's on the soundtracks of that. He has his own book coming out. So sometimes you don't want to put a limit on, well, if I don't do this in 5 years, it's over. Sometimes it takes people 7 years to get to where they need to be at. Sometimes 6-10 years. So I just think as long as you see improvements and you are advancing, keep going. But still make time for your family. Like, because T, let me ask you something.
What's up?
You a businessman. If anybody knows, listen, all you viewers out there, y'all to watch the show. You already know T's personality. You already know T's personality.
Here we go.
T, I'm going to ask you this question.
What's
from
up?
The heart.
From the heart.
From the heart. Okay. When is, as much as, you're busy, you're a businessman, I mean, you dibble and dabble into everything. One of the things you always talked about is finding that wife. So when is it going to be that time where I can see a little Terrence walking around? I'm waiting.
I'm waiting too, right? And I know that I'm in control of that. But you got to be very careful what you ask for. And I'll tell you, Brittany, remember I think 6, 7, 8 years ago, I was in a relationship. You came to LA. Mm-hmm. We was going through some things. And this was an issue in the relationship. Me going after Hollywood and us being together for 6, 7 years. And I decided to just let her go. I said, she got to be the one to walk away from this because the dream is more important to me. You know what I mean? And this is a personal goal for me. So to answer that question, I really don't know. I'm still on the journey. I'm still on everything. But I feel like I can always have kids at 41, 45, 39, those type of ages like that. I can always find somebody and select and say, hey, you know what? I want to spend more time with her. Then I want to upgrade her and say, all right, I want to marry her now. You know what I mean? I decide that. And when I find I know that sounds crazy, 45. But when I'm just naming a couple of numbers, though, I'm not saying that I'm going to wait. Because look, let's just say, and remember, I don't tell the audience my age, but let's just say I'm 30 right now, right? Mm-hmm. I can go outside and I don't control if I'm going to find somebody right now. I don't know if she's just going to pop up. I just don't want to pick the first person there. You know what I mean? So I have to find somebody that match my values, my goals, everything like that, my morals and everything. And then I'll move us to the next level. But I haven't found that yet.
So when do you think is a good time for you to shift your focus from, okay, I've been career. Right. Now let me shift my focus and energy
to find my
career to now put the energy into dating and looking for that one? Like, when do you decide not to put the dream on hold, but not put as much effort and energy in the dream?
Right. It's one of those things that you have to reevaluate your priorities and the things that's important to you. For me specifically, I can't speak about what other people should do, but for me, I said within the next 5 years, I should have both of those things, because I'm starting to shift now where I'm like, all right, this business stuff, it needs to work now. I got to put more pressure on this now. Mm-hmm. And I call creative, I call Say It in 4, the final dance. This is the last chapter. This is the last chance to try to pursue, to go after whatever. And I think also it depends on what making it looks like, right? So if you think fame or having $1 million or whatever is what you're going after, and that's what making it is, then once you get it, then you're like, all right, you know what? I can start the kids now, and I'm still trying to figure that out. Yeah.
Okay, let's get Facebook dating app.
Too, because like he said, you gotta know your end goal. So for you, if being successful measures up to XYZ and you get there, then at that point, hey, I've made it towards the goal that I'm trying to reach, and you continue to push forward and try to find, love at the same time, because you know what your goals. Because success is different to each one of us. Each one of us views success completely different. So it's it's all on you to put it there. I know we're putting that pressure on you right now, because I know you've been for a while too, because I've been knowing you for a while. But it's also sustainability, because we can all grind at the same day, and if you find the right partner, they're gonna help you grind.
That's Charnetta. I was gonna ask you that too, because you married Charnetta. And you got a whole husband. How do you do that with your being in roles? You're doing acting and stuff like that, and you got your kids. And there's times I talk to you at the laundromat, you at the grocery store, having meetings when you're running errands at the same time. So how do you balance that?
Yeah, I think us having the same goals helped. Yeah. So we were on the same path. So we grinded and pushed together, and we understood. And, so if he had to be on set all night or this or that or whatever, or me have to be out late recording or whatever, we understood, because it was along the same lines, and we were trying to reach the same goal. So if you find somebody like that, that's a beautiful thing. And for sure, you might want to try to make that work.
Now, that's the funny part, because I don't want someone that's in the industry at all.
What?
At all. I don't
want
in
the industry, but somebody that's going to push you.
Somebody.
Well, do you feel that it'll be difficult to find somebody who's not in the industry that would understand the lifestyle of the industry and being able to date and kind of commingle?
No, I think that you guys just got to build together, and she got to understand your why. If she can understand your why, then you guys will be fine. For me, I tell my friends all the time, I'm looking for one of three. She got to be a nanny, a nurse, or a teacher. And I feel like one of those can really, one of those are they're good. They're good with people, so they can kind of understand you, and what you're going after and stuff like that. And they're patient too. So I need one of those. A nanny, yes.
Sure?
A nanny, a nurse,
you sure?
Or a teacher. Huh?
They're nurturing.
Yeah, they're nurturing, right? And just
I'm about to say, it sounds like a nurturing caretaker.
That'll work for me. You know what I mean? So if I say, yo, I got to go do a film over here, they understand. They'll get it,
Pack your lunch, get you right.
Yeah.
I suppose. I guess.
Now, Netta, I did have a question going back to what you said earlier, about you and your spouse or whatever. Now, do you think that marriage is 50-50, not marriage or relationship? She don't want me to say that she's married.
You good? No, sorry.
You don't want me to put that out there. So
you good.
Okay, but I don't want to disrespect it and call it a relationship, because it's not a relationship. It's a marriage, right? So, I mean, you guys upgraded, so I'll call it a relationship if that's what you want. But do you think that the work and then the life is really 50-50, or do you think that something is lacking? Do you think it's 60-40, 70-30?
Right now, I think it's balanced. There was a time where it was not balanced and it was challenging. But definitely now, it's balanced. And how we got through that, I mean, there were ups and downs during the part where it wasn't balanced. And Like I was understanding, but again, back to the whole time frame, like how long, type of thing. How long do we keep doing this? Where's the, so ultimately, and I had put a time limit on. I'm like, hey, after this amount of time, we on third, baby number 3. After this, another year, and okay, we got to switch it up.
Yeah.
Because this is not working. But you know what? That year came, and still it was progression, but not enough. We're a family of 5 now. It wasn't enough. But ultimately, I was like, you know what? I know that if you go off and just do whatever just to make ends meet, you're not going to be happy. And so I'm not going to be happy.
I don't think it ever balances out because we each have our individual talents. Like me, I like cooking. So like,
okay.
My wife can cook. I'm going to be the one. Like I cook now primarily for everything that we do. And like even for lunch, like I cook before she goes to work and she takes that with her to work. So I think it's just about knowing your spouse's needs.
You're getting the brownie points out here on the show.
Okay. You hear what he does.
yeah, but I think, I'm the better cook out of the two just because I grew up in the South. So, I was a down South Southern cook. We cooked everything from scratch. But I think it's about balance and knowing your spouse's needs. So you have to know their needs and where to, pick up where they leave off. Like my wife, I can't do my daughter's hair. So that we're never going to be 50-50 on that. She's either going to walk out the house looking crazy or my wife's going to do her hair in the ponytail and she's going to look cute. I need to learn, but we're never going to be, primarily 50-50 on that.
So I want to go back real quick because we got a couple of minutes here. The thing that I'm really worried about is just being forced into the whole family thing just because. So now you have no choice but to give up on that dream of like, oh, I want to be a real estate agent or I want to do this, I want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, because I got 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids. Now everything changed and shift for you because you have to attend to these things right here. So that's what I'm mostly worried about. Huh? I don't want to call it a setback. I don't want to call your like your relationship or like your kids, something like that, a setback. But, it definitely... It's a roadblock.
It's a roadblock.
It definitely changed.
You know what, Steve? It might serve as motivation, though. It might make you push harder.
Yeah, yes.
From experience of seeing other people, it hasn't.
Okay. I can tell you it's
from other people. And it's just like now they're just forced to deal with this person or deal with the little kid and stuff like that. And I'm not being selfish because I'm not a selfish person, but now you have no choice. You have to step up and you have to. You have to be very careful what you ask for. I will say that.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I want to go back to that. You know what I mean? Because after that last shorty, I don't want to mention her name, but that ex, I was like, yo, God, I ain't got no time for relationships. I don't want nobody. Like, I just want to meet people and do this, X, Y, and Z. But that relationship shit, I'm done with that for a little bit. And that was like 11, 12 years ago.
I know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of a serious relationship. So you have to be very, very careful what you ask for. And I said, yo, I just want the business. And he gave me that. He provided me that. So now I'm like, yo, where's she at? Like, where's the kid? And he's like, nah, but remember, you asked me for this back 10 years ago.
Ooh, facts.
Very careful and very specific on what you asked for. And that's what I realized from that lesson right there.
There you go.
Affirmation, brother.
Final words from anybody. Final words, real quick.
Yo, love your spouse, love your partners, love your family, support.